Oh. Hey, Hebrew fans. Sorry about the craziness with the zooming in and out. I'm trying to get this all set up. There we go. All right. All right, let me do my sound check. You might hear a strange echo. Let's see. Sound check. Hey, Jamie Sanders. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Jamie, can you hear me okay? Or is my voice kind of stifled? Guess I could pull my phone. Hey, Chuck. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Let me check my volume on my phone really quick. Oh, there it was. All right. Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Hey, Dorky Hippie 81. Thanks for joining me. All right. So, so somebody asked me for a helmet, and I haven't got around to making new helmets lately. So I thought, what the heck? I'll go ahead and make some. The first batch I made, um, I had some errors. You can see here. What was the error on this one? I don't know what the error on this one was, but there was some error at the time. I don't know what it is now. This one here, I believe, had a flat spot. Yep, you can see right here. Had a flat spot on it where it just, I had black tape. Oops, let me line that up. I can't see my own thing. There we go. So I eventually made these. I already put the clear coat on. You can see the difference between the clear coat and not the clear coat. It makes a huge difference to begin with. So there you go. Hey, from India. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Randy. All right, so let's go ahead and do the paint. The first paint I use is this right here. And my wife got it for me. I asked her to find a color that matches. And so I just marked it helmet so I know which ones I use. Then afterwards, I use this game ink to turn it green for the horns and all the clear parts. So those are the two things that I use. All right, my wife got me these cool little cups to use too, to fill them up. And then I have some different brushes. Now these ones here I can see I've already used in the past for doing my green ink. It works really good. And then this one here, I also use for the green ink. And then I have this brush here for the inside. But you know what? I'm thinking this might not be big enough. I might grab one of the green ink ones just to use for the inside. I got an extra light just for fun so I can kind of show off how they look. Ooh, ah. And then I like to also take the light and shine it on the back to look for any holes in the paint as well. So that's why I have the light here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First, you want a really nice soft bristle brush. This one's a little too rough. This one's nice and soft. You want it soft so as you paint on the inside, you don't keep sliding the paint off. Otherwise, you end up, instead of painting it on, you end up painting it off. Now, the first layers are really thin. Now, as I finish each coat, I'll be sticking them back on this tray right here, which I use for my spray painting to put on the crystal clear coat. So there we go. And I was just going to do these on my own. And I thought, you know what? I might as well do a live video. Then I can answer questions at the same time. So I do have my computer screen running right here where I can see your guys' comments to see what you guys are saying. So let's go ahead and get painting because that's what you guys came here for. Let me shake my paint. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Yeah, I'm just going to check the volume one more time. It's so strange because usually I can hear at least a little bit of what's going on, but let's see. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. That sounds really quiet. I'm going to change my microphone setting. Okay, let's try that now. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Let's try that now.
Oh, it's way louder.
1, 2, 3. Let's try that now. Oh, it's way louder. 1, 2, 3.
I got to turn my volume down on my computer. Otherwise, you guys will hear it over and over and over again. All right, so does that sound better? Okay, cool. Well, now we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and put this in the cup. Now this paint is kind of thick. Again, this is what I'm using so you guys can see it. Let me see if I've got it lined up in the camera or not, because I have like a 10-second delay. So I should lower it a little bit. So if you want to take a snapshot screen or write that down, this is the inside. So if you end up buying a helmet unpainted from me, that is the paint I use on the inside. And it's taken a long time to get just the right color. Now when you go to paint this, you end up with little splotches that are a little too thick. And so you want to keep painting it to get those splotches so they're all even. Now the very first coat is going to be really thin on here. And so you just want to basically just coat the whole inside, keep it as thin as you can, just so that the next layer will adhere well. Now when you're painting, whatever it is, you'll see that the paint will want to stack up on all the little seams. So you have to be really careful to not let the paint stack up in those spots. Meanwhile, also coating everything. There we go. It's almost like a dry brush technique. Hey, Mike Fee, thanks for joining us. Why are the horns translucent? I just like the look of having the translucent look. I think it looks cool. Some people have bought these from Shapeways from me and they're not translucent. And they'll just take and paint them with either a silver shiny, or not silver, but a green shiny spray paint. I've seen some really cool customs. And you can also buy the unpainted ones from me too. But I just like the clear aesthetic to it. Looks like it might be some kind of energy thing or something else. There we go. So there's my finished painting on the first layer. And you can see it is like just really, really thin. There's like almost nothing to it. So I should lower it down a little bit. So again, that's of course that light looks really bright on the camera. Let's get this couple thick spots on here. Hey, thanks, Mike. All right, so we got one with the first coat. So I will set that there and on to the next one. And once those dry, I'll go back and put on the second coat. I used to do these one at a time, and I found out it took a whole lot more time to do one at a time instead of just doing a whole bunch. It's kind of funny. I was supposed to go to work today, and last night I was just like, you know, I just need a day of relaxation. I've been working way too hard lately and been really stressed out, and what a better way to relax than to sit and paint some helmets. So kind of something a little different. It's funny, my boss might be watching this. What the heck is he doing? Takes the day off to paint. Yeah, I also spent time with the granddaughters downstairs. They were down there. But they went to the beach. I almost went with them, but I kept thinking to myself, you know what? I don't want to get sunburned. I am a crusty white guy, and my skin burns really easy. So I decided to stay here and not go with the grandkids to the beach. Alright, so that one's looking pretty good. Now, all together, I'll probably put on 3 or 4 coats. And normally I don't record this, but I thought, what the heck, I might as well just tape it. I've been taping my live prints anyway, so on to the next one. Remember, this first coat is just really thin, just so the paint will adhere to this for the second coat. You always want to put a clear paint coat on first, otherwise the paint will not adhere to the resin. So I always coat these with a crystal clear paint first, as almost like a primer. Otherwise, the paint will just slip all over it and won't even stick to it. That's looking pretty good. Once I finish my last 3 here, I'll go and look at you guys' comments. We'll go back and read them all. While the paint's drying. It does dry really quick because the coat's so thin. As long as I don't goop it up in places, it should be fine. Alright. Helmet number 4. Now I like to do 6 at a time because they fit just perfect on my tray. This next batch I'm making, I'm going to put them on eBay, and I am going to have 6 painted ones and 1 unpainted one because I have 1 extra from a previous batch that I didn't paint. I know it's not one of those. Those ones are both errors. And it's funny, I couldn't tell what the error was on that one, but I know if I was to spend time looking at it, I would see what it is eventually. I try not to sell the error ones very often. Once in a while, if it's a big project like the dungeon or floor, I'll sell the error ones, but for something this small, I don't usually sell the error ones. All you guys see is the back of my hand. That's not a very interesting shot. All right. That's looking pretty good. Ugh. There we go, that's a better shot. Just gotta raise it up a little bit. It's different trying to paint on camera than it is when nobody's around, because it doesn't matter what it looks like from the view. But I guess if I'm blocking the view the whole time, you're like, why watch? Watching the back of Todd's hand. One more, then I'll look at your guys' comments. I can see them coming in. Oh, I got one little spot right there. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Oh, I forgot to raise it up. Sorry, you guys. Old habits die hard. All right, that's the last one. Let me cap my paint here. There we go. Let's go look at you guys' comments. Steve says, hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Thanks, Steve, I am. These fit my head perfectly. I like to walk around the house with them on. Nice, Raz 4140. Hey Mike, hey everyone, I trust everyone is well today. Yes, Jinx, we are. Thanks for asking. Let's see. I wonder if Masterverse will do a non-Revelation Battle Cat or Swiftwind. That'd be pretty cool. Now waiting to see what happens if a Masterverse Panthor releases. Yes. Hey Todd, how was your morning? Why are you doing a live video early today? Yep, my morning was great. I decided to take work off today. Kind of stressed, so I decided to just sit and paint. You know what? I'm going to go grab my other one that's done as paint's drying. I'll be right back. So you guys can see the finished product of what it looks like once it's all complete. I do have to keep the horns clear. I just think it looks really cool. My first rendition of this, I actually did have the whole helmet clear, and it looked weird because when you stuck it on his head, you would see, the purple through the helmet, and so I decided to start painting the inside, just so that it would block that purple from showing through. Now I do use 3 spots of poster putty on the helmet to keep it on, and there's what it looks like when it's complete. Like I said, some people don't always appreciate the clear, and they'll buy ones that aren't painted. And I'll show you what the non-painted ones look like. Actually, I'll bring over some of my other projects too while I'm at it. Or waiting for that paint to dry. So here's what a non-painted one may look like. It may be more green or more blue depending on how much exposure it gets to the lights. But there you go. Now a friend of mine also asked me to make some Energon cubes from Transformers. So he told me what sizes to make them. And I made 2 solid ones and 2 that have holes in them so you can put like LED lights in them. Now some of them had some corners that kind of chipped on them. It kind of stinks, but it's still kind of fun and kind of cool. And then somebody also asked for another orb stand. So I decided to make a bunch because it takes just as long to make, for printing wise, to make one as it does to make 8. Now I still have to paint these, so it'll still be a while before they're done, but the guy wanted one unpainted, so I was able to send his off right away. Anyway, that's what I've been working on. So let's get back to doing coat number 2. So here are my things ready to go. Now I'm just going to set them a little bit closer so I'm not reaching all the way across the room to put them back on the tray. And I will just do them in the reverse order I did them before. Let's see. Eternia Todd's Day Off. Yes. Hey, thanks, animator. Yep, just basically, usually, like I said, usually I do this on my own. But today I decided, since I got to do them anyway, I told someone I'd get them on there yesterday. I didn't get around to it, so I thought, okay, I better hurry and get these done. One guy bought one on Shapeways just yesterday, and it's like, oh, dude, I almost got some done. Now, if you get them on Shapeways, of course, they're not clear. They're not painted. They are whatever color you order, and they're not nearly as smooth as these. These are made of resin, so they come out nice and smooth. And when you get things on Shapeways, they have kind of a rough aesthetic feel to it, almost like someone took sand and glued it together with super glue, because that's pretty much what they do. Is the printer, I guess, works off by using some kind of super glue type stuff on its little plastic beads, and so, which means when you have to glue them together, super glue works really good for gluing your parts together from Shapeways, because you're using kind of what it's made out of. Alright, so the second coat, you can see, is a lot thicker in comparison, because now we have something for it to stick to. So you can kind of see the difference. This one has 2 coats, this one has 1 coat. So there we go. Alright, on to the next one. And depending on how the light shines through it, I do either 3 or 4 coats. So I'll hold them up to the light eventually, make sure I got all the holes covered, and then, which is nice when you are painting clear parts, you can just hold it up to the light and see if you did a good job or not. But I won't check it out till the 3rd coat. So I can just hold it up right now and see, oh, a little more in the nose here. On the nose, Todd. Now, my first original ones I made, I actually used spray paint instead of hand painting them. And it worked okay, but I had to use 2 colors at once with 2 cans, and I'd go psh and spray them, and the 2 cans would mix, and it actually was very close to the right color. But sometimes, if I didn't hold the button just right, one color would spray more than the other, or first, and then when you look through it, the color didn't match right, because it's whatever shows up first on the bottom is what color we're worried about. We don't worry about the last color, because you're not going to see it anyway. It's the color that is going to be displayed through. So the most important color you lay down is that first coat, because that's what everyone's going to see once the helmet's on. So I don't paint the outside with a solid color, just the inside. The outside I paint with that clear green afterwards. That looks pretty good. Now this coat will take a little longer to dry because it's a little thicker than the last coat. Usually I use a fan and a heat gun to dry it, so I may do that while you guys, while I focus the camera on the Skeletor and Battle Cat on my desk over here, so you guys can look at it while I'm using my heat gun and my fan. And I'll then look at your guys' comments while these are drying. Oh, sounds like someone's here at our front door. I can hear them outside. Probably the mailman delivering a package. Maybe it's my Super 7 stuff. Not Super 7, my Big Bad Toy Store stuff. That'd be cool. If it is, then I'll have some stuff to videotape tonight. Oh, I just heard the guy get back in his truck. It's funny, I was just talking to the FedEx guy today, and I asked him, air conditioning? He goes, nope, two-door conditioning. And he actually opens the doors on both sides of his truck while he's driving. The slider doors. And 2 more left. Oh, I forgot to hold them up. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. You guys just watching the back of my hand again. I have this friend named Steve. You guys have probably seen him on the channel. He does some really good artwork. He makes some fantastic models, and he also does some hand drawings. And when I had him on the channel, he was doing some drawings live of different characters people were suggesting. Well, anyway, whenever he watches my videos on painting, he just shakes his head. He cannot believe the way I paint because it's so different than him. And it's funny, he goes, I can't believe the way you just slopped the paint on there. And so it's kind of funny because our styles are so different on the way we paint. He's more of an airbrusher, so he will use a lot of airbrushing. Whereas you guys see, I do a lot more hand painting. I do have an airbrush now because he got tired of watching me slap the paint on, so he got me one. But I don't know. It's just like something. And this paint's so thick, I'd have to thin it out so much to airbrush it, and then I'd have to mask it all off to just get it where I want it. So this is why it's a little more controlled with the paintbrush. As long as I do a bunch of thin coats, it should be fine. It's funny though. I had him watch one of my videos, and he was just could not believe the way I slapped the paint on stuff. It's like, dude, that's how you paint? Yep, that's how I paint. I've been doing it that way for years, and it always seems to work just fine, man. All right. So that is the end of finishing my second coat on all those. Jinx asks, how hard is it to use an airbrush? I'm not very skilled with the airbrush yet. My friend Steve's really skilled. He can add shading and all kinds of great stuff. He's really good. I just pretty much use it like a spray paint can, you know, so I spend more time masking than painting. Mike Fee says, I got Super 7 Leonardo today. Also going to get the other 3 and be done with the turtles. Nice. Eric says, I'm working on a custom He-Man guys. His Skeletor side, his name is Vandar. Oh, nice. let's see. On YouTube, I saw somebody had a Revelation Battle Cat and painted him purple and his seat dark green. Yep, I've seen that too. Richard says he ever thought about making Filmation style swords for Origins and Masterverse. I have thought of that, Richard, but there's so many Filmation swords already out there. The classic swords for that size, there's just not a ton out there. So I wanted them for myself to make metal ones, and I'd never intended to sell these. These are supposed to be for myself just so I can make metal ones out of them. But people kept asking for them, so that's why I got them. Now here's the Revelation one, a little taller. You know, as you can see the difference. But again, I never really intended to sell these, but like I said, people kept asking for them, so I ended up making a bunch. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna go dry that with my heat gun and my fan. I'm gonna bring Skeletor over here so you guys can look at his cool cat and Skeletor. And I'll be right over on the other side of the room. All right, setting up the fan. Setting up the heat gun. Just about done. All right. Just got those cool for a minute. I found the hard way, if you don't let them cool, that then the paint will globular cluster all over the inside of the helmet. So I gotta let them cool for a little bit. So I'm at the cool. Let's go and look at your guys' questions. Let's see. This is a nice ASRM for me while I'm at work, laughing out loud. That's from B10. And let's see, we got here. Mike Feast says I got my 2000X Skeletor Origins today, and Friday my 2000X He-Man will be here. I canceled Big Bad Toy Store Target app had them. Nice, I'll have to check that out. Hey Todd, how goes it? Nice tutorial. I've been starting some painting. Do this. Oh, all right, I'm glad it helps. Excellent, Alf. I saw a video on these cubes on, yes, on Instagram. The orb stand looks good on my castle. Nice, Mike. Yep, midday stream. Not a typical thing. Okay. Let's see. Is it safe to paint vintage Moto figures? It is. I would definitely do a good alcohol clean before you start. Whenever you do your alcohol clean, you want to go alcohol with your wipe, and then do a dry wipe right afterwards before there's a chance to evaporate. That seems to work pretty good. Hey Todd, just see the picture I uploaded in the lounge with the floors. I have not seen that yet, Lewis. I'll check that out after the video. Nice. All right, I think it's cooled down enough. Let's go ahead and get back to painting. Let's get back to painting. All right. So this is coat number 3. Coat number 3. Dun dun dun. That's looking pretty nice. I'm just holding up to my light above my desk so I can see any bare spots that I might have missed on this third coat. This coat's pretty essential because this will catch the final bare spots, because some of these will only get 3 coats depending. Some I might actually add a 4th coat, but not all will get a 4th coat. It depends on how well I do this 3rd coat. Now what I'm doing now is making sure there's no brush strokes. So you can see as I smooth over it, it just kind of gets rid of all the brush strokes as it starts to dry a little bit. And that just really cleans up the paint job. So I learned this from my stepfather when I was a kid. He was the pro at when it came to detailing cars. And it was so cool because as a kid he would detail these really famous cars all the time. And he had an award for being the best detailer this side of the mountains, and he would never have buffer marks in his cars after he would buff them out. And car dealers from all over would contact him wanting him to do their cars. It was really cool. And so we got to see all kinds of cool stuff when I was a kid and go to all kinds of cool car shows and races and smash up derbies. But everybody knew him. He was like the pro. And his trick was for buffer marks, just like I do with the paint, is basically wipe them before they dry, and it gets rid of all those extra marks that most people can't get rid of. So when you're painting, just do that wipe on the paint when it's just a little bit sticky. It'll get rid of all those brush marks and make it look really smooth. It'll almost make it look like it was airbrushed, even though it was not. So again, if you take a look, you'll notice no brush marks. It's funny, when I was a kid, he got to do a really famous car in our backyard, and it was sitting back there, and I could not tell anybody that we had the coolest car in our backyard from a famous TV show, and that was driving me crazy as a kid. And I got to meet the actor that was the driver of this car in real life, and um, I don't know if my friends would have believed me or not without showing them the car, but I was sworn to secrecy as a kid to not tell anybody, because they didn't want a bunch of kids swarming the car while he was detailing it. But it was the coolest thing. Even now, I'm kind of leery about mentioning what car it is, as you can tell. I'm not telling you what car it is on the internet, but it was quite something. Unfortunately, the driver of this car is no longer with us. He has since passed away, but as a kid, it was really cool to meet this guy in person. Now, he didn't come to our house when I met him. It was at the auto event that we went to. He was there signing autograph pictures. All right. But I did get to see his car up and close and personal. It was funny too because he was a car detailer, we had all kinds of chemicals at our disposal, and so any spray paint that was made for engine colors or anything else, we had tons of. Lots of clear. We had tons of clear. We had black, of course, for spraying the tires, and we had reds and yellows. And I'm trying to think of the other colors we had. We had gum remover. It was like stuff that would freeze gum to take it out of rugs. So it was like those cans of dry air you get for cleaning your computer, but when you turn it upside down, how they spray the freeze stuff out. But it was just the freeze stuff. So we'd freeze all kinds of stuff with it when I was a kid. And then, of course, the clear spray paint was used for all kinds of stuff. I think we might have had gold too, I can't remember. But definitely we had the black, the yellow, and the red. all the engine color paints. And so being I had access to all the free paint I wanted as a kid in spray paint cans, we would paint all kinds of stuff. Black, yellow, red. All of our model rockets were either black, yellow, or red. I actually think we had silver too, but the silver was really limited. So I don't think we got to use silver very much, but I remember a couple things we painted that was silver. But yeah, that was a trick to make the tires look good. Oh, we had white too. I forgot about that. But we didn't use white very often because who wants to paint stuff white? That's just kind of boring. But yeah, I remember he would always repaint the tires, the white walls, and then the black paint to make the tires look like they were new when he would do cars. He was one cool dude. All right. That's looking pretty nice. It's like I've done this before. You know, I don't even know how many helmets I've sold now. It has to be probably 60 helmets at least that I've painted and sold. All right, last one. And then we'll do a check and maybe do a fourth coat on some of them. I'll look at your guys' comments during the drawing time, and then I'll go over and use the heat gun and the fan again on them. See how they're looking now? Looking pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh yeah, one little spot right there, right there. Got it. All right, I will line up Skeletor for you guys to gaze upon his awesomeness. Why, go dry some parts with the heat gun and the fan. All right, got those all dried off. Now let them cool. Let's look at your guys' comments. Adam Grayskull says, I am the power. Ronald Jager, did you see my mini Snake Mountain painted in the lounge? Ronald, sorry, I haven't had a chance to check the lounge out today. Been kind of slacking on that. Dorky Hippie says, the playset one. You know what? Let's go ahead and just go to the lounge. What the heck? Let's see the stuff that you guys have been doing. Facebook chat group. And we will open that up. Let's see. Alex posted a picture of Extendar. Extendar. Oh, wow. Lewis and his floors. Those look nice, man. I see you put the horse on the side. I know you guys can't see this. Let me just aim this up a little bit. I know, kind of weird to show you the screen like that. Oh, look at that. The 2000X. I know. Oh, you put the armor on him from... Nice. All right. You guys are doing a lot of posting on here. That's such a cool moss, man. Who posted that? Alex. I haven't seen... I haven't seen the... Oh, look at that. Custom 2-in-1 King Hiss. I'm looking for your Snake Mountain. Did I already pass it? Beastmaster. Okay, let's go back. Oh, exit full screen. Okay. Let me take a look and see who said that. Did you see my mini Snake Mounted painted in the lounge? Ronald. Okay, Ronald, let's take a look and see. Well, I searched for Ronald. I didn't see your name coming up. Let's start from the beginning. Yeah, I'm not seeing a mini Snake Mountain, man. I'm sorry. Beastmaster. Dude, when did you post it? I must have seen it if it was this long ago. So I do check it out more often than that. That was funny. Oh. There we go. Oh, Ronnie. Okay. Nice. Excellent job, sir. Man, the detail in the eyes, spectacular. Good job, man. All right. Yep, sorry, it's kind of crooked. Let me go ahead and aim this back down. And get back to business to defeat the Huns. You guys can see how messy my desk is. All right, so this is the fourth and final coat. Not all of them will get it. This one's looking pretty good. This is not going to need a fourth coat. This one needs a little bit, just a little bit, around by the nose area. Oh yeah. Now it's looking pretty consistent. Yep, beautiful. Let's check the next one. There's one little spot towards the back there. Could use a little more. What the heck? I'll just do a light coat everywhere just so it all matches. Got it. Next one. That's looking really good. The next one. Over by the side where the flange is. Those flanges can sometimes be tricky. Just do a light coat everywhere while I got it here. Oh yeah. Done. And the last one, let's take a look at it. It's looking real nice just the way it is. Alright. So we'll let those final bits dry, and then we will start our light green painting on the other side. Let me grab some gloves for this. I'm going to wash my brush off. There's the gloves. It stinks. I was hoping to paint these ones next, but I just realized I gotta first put the clear coat on them before I could paint them blue. I like to paint the bottoms blue so they're darker, more rich, vibrant blue. But next video some other time. So when I paint these, I'm gonna hold it by one of the ears like this, paint my green on all around, and then it kind of gets a little dry and tacky. Hold it here like that and then paint the rest. Now normally I do it with my bare hands, so I end up with green on my thumb and finger all over the place. And I just thought just now as I'm sitting here, you know, all I need is one glove. So I'll try this and see how it works. Hopefully the glove does not cause the paint to stick too much to my glove and take the paint off. Oh, that is one tight fit. Let's see, Steve Newton says, Hebro, do you play D&D? If so, how would you make He-Man? Actually, I don't play Dungeons & Dragons. I did make my own role-playing game years ago called Hebro's Battleboard. And I used to play it with the kids, and I actually used to use hexagons that were 3 inches apiece. And then I had larger hexagons that were, I think, 9 inches. Maybe they were 6 inches. I don't remember. And the larger hexagons were for vehicles and cats and big items, and the smaller hexagons were for just regular people that did not have any vehicles on them. They'd roll the dice to see how far they'd move and lay the hexagons on the floor, and they would fight between Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. It was a pretty fun game. They put different weapons in their hands and armor, and that would change their roles and everything else, and it was pretty cool. But as far as actual Dungeons & Dragons, no, I didn't actually play D&D as it is. But we did do dice roll battles, so that was kind of fun. I pause one of your videos for reference. Oh, nice. Oh, did I show you? This is the brush I use for painting the floors. This big mammoth 2-inch brush. So you can see the green from the green paint from the floors that I use. But this is the floor paintbrush when I do the castle floors. I actually have another paintbrush too for putting the resin on. But that's the one I use for the floors. Alright, it's time to ink this. So this is the green ink I use. So if you guys want, you can either pause the video or write that down. Just share some pictures to you. I sent. Okay, nice. Alright, so this stuff gets messy real quick. So be really careful where this goes and how much you get on. Because it does not take much and you can ruin your whole paint job. Now the trick is, when you put this on, you don't want to get any of it on this part if you can help. If you get a little bit on the edges, no big deal. But you just want to keep it on the blue section if you paint this. Now, I use these kinds of paints for all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I'm going to use it later on those orb holders. And it works great for painting clear stuff. Like when I did my clear Castle Grayskull lit up, I used these paints to do it. So if you put the clear paint on first, the clear spray paint, it will then adhere really good to it and just make it work really well. You can see how the difference already is just from putting that one coat on between the two different sides. Alright, I'm going to continue on so it doesn't dry on me. And again, I just slop it on. So my friend Steve's watching, he'll be cracking up. There goes Todd and his slop paint jobs. Alright. Then I hang on to it like that. And then I do the other horn. Now if you don't put the clear paint on first, the spray paint, this will not adhere to it. And I've learned the hard way that if you don't use the clear paint first, you will not get good adhesion on these clear paints. Now these are mostly used for when you want to highlight features, but I found out they work really, really good for changing paint colors slowly. So if you have like I used it when I made my custom Mumra, because his skin was the wrong shade. I just added this just to change the shade a little bit instead of repainting the whole entire head, and it worked really good. Alright, there we go. Now let's see the comparison difference. So you can kind of see the difference between the painted and the unpainted. Ooh-ah. There it is. Alright, one done. And I still have to clear coat them later on the next one. Now the strange thing is, the paint will stick really well, make it really dark green. Other ones, the paint won't stick as well, and it'll be kind of a lighter green. Some people like the darker green ones better. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Sometimes I like the real deep dark green. Other times I like it when it's not quite as deep and dark. It's just kind of a preference call of what you like. And it's really strange. I haven't figured out what causes it, because I paint these all at the same time with the clear. But some of them get the real thick green coating to it here, and other ones don't. Like this one didn't come on as thick for some reason. So, but it still looks really good. Now these ones I don't use the heat gun on to dry, but I will use the heat gun on the clear after I paint it clear. Alright, there we go. Another one done. And another one done. And another one done. Another one green helmet is done. Hey. Dun -dun -dun -dun. Another helmet is done. Yeah, sometime I'll make a video showing you guys Hebrews Battleboard and how the kids and I used to play when they were little. Maybe I'll grab one of my grandkids and make them play. Guess what we're doing today, kids? We're playing Hebrews Battleboard. Oh, Grandpa. Not your He-Man figures again. Yes. The He-Man figures again. Yes, I've tortured my poor children and their kids with my action figures. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. My wife always tells me I shouldn't groove on my own stuff, but sometimes you just look at it and it's like, you know what? That came out really good. I like how that came out. And it's funny, when I first made this helmet, I had no intention of making it clear. And then just one day I'm sitting there looking at it, I thought, you know what would be cool? Just to put clear green on it and see how it comes out looking. And so that is how. And then I noticed that you could see through the bottom of it, and I thought, so I started painting the bottom. And most of my customs are from trial and error and just kind of messing around and seeing how they come out. My friend Steve's watching, he is probably cringing. There goes the paint slop. Yeah, he's very methodical, making sure he covers it in just a certain way, where I just kind of slop it all on there. Sometimes I like the paint slop because it brings out the details more, because certain times paint will kind of fall into the ridges and stuff and make it darker in those areas. So I quite often do the grunge painting or the dry wipes or a dry wash, or I guess it's wash and dry brush. There we go. See, self-taught, don't know the names of them all correctly. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, the gloves are sticking more than my fingers would. 2 left to go. Ugh. I probably have way too much paint on there just for 2. It takes approximately 2.5 drops of that green paint for each helmet. And I put way too many drops in, considering I only have two left to do, this one and another one. So I'm probably going to end up wasting some of my clear green. Lewis says, I can't torture my kids like that, they just ignore me. Yeah. They always had fun though. We had a blast playing figures when the kids were little. I can't believe it. My oldest boy is now 35. He is the same age for minimum requirement to run for president. So my oldest boy could run for president now if he chooses to. How crazy is that? My next child down is 34, just turned it. It's cool though. My next son down, he invited me over to watch DBZ on his big TV, and we sat and watched it together. It was pretty fun. He used to always watch Dragon Ball Z with me. Both of them did when they were younger. On Cartoon Network, I think it was, or something. And it was always fun to watch. Alright. 1 left. The final paint job. The final paint job. See if I got enough to finish this one. Without adding any more. should. I should have enough, but for some reason it's looking pretty thin down there. Whew. Oh, there's some in the corner. There we go. I got lots of paint. Gotta get those horns in the middle. That is looking pretty good. See my gloves? Usually my fingers look like that. So I'm gonna go wash up with this paintbrush. You guys can look at, actually, you guys can look at the 6 beautifully emerald helmets. The emerald helmets. I'll be right back. All right, they're almost done. The last step is to put on some high gloss clear paint. I'll put on 3 to 4 coats on there, both sides. I got to paint the inside really well so it doesn't stick to the cat at all. And that will be it. And they'll be on eBay probably tomorrow or tonight. And let me check. Let's see what I charge for these, for those that want to know. Let me check my price list here. Helmet sales. And they are $20 unpainted and $35 painted. So that is what I usually charge for them. So they'll be on eBay. I'll have 6 painted and I'll have 1 unpainted. This one right here. So this will probably be the last batch I do for a long time. They are kind of a pain to make. My printer doesn't really like to make them for some reason. So I've had lots more failures than I had ones that work successfully. So there we go. There they are. Look at that, how beautiful they are. They look even better once the clear coat's on there. Of a nice glaze. Well, you can see the difference once the clear coat's on there. They just shine. So cool. Let's get your guys' comments for the last time, and then I'll end the video. Let's see, 2:07 here. I should be asleep, but the thunderstorm's keeping me awake. Somebody outside's changing into He-Man. That's what's going on, man. He keeps changing back and forth, testing out his new power sword. It's 2 p.m. here, Ronald Jaggard says. Black Phoenix 77 says I'd get a helmet, but I don't have a Panthor yet. Could Goku beat He-Man? That's a good question. He-Man isn't a competitive guy like Goku. He'd let Goku win. Ray says, thanks again, Todd. Let's see. Hebrew sent my Panthor helmet. Probably the best headgear ever saw for Panthor. I still got to figure out what to send Hebrew. Oh, thanks, Ray. I'm gonna make my own Mossman vintage into Beastman, and my Beastman vintage into Mossman. I'm thinking about it. All right, Eric. Just shared some pictures. Oh, I already read that one. All right, cool. I think I read them all. All right, and just as a heads up, so you guys know, is these helmets do kind of fit on the old 80s Panthor. Not perfect, but they do. So if you wanted to get it for your 80s one, it also works for those too. I wouldn't use the blue putty so much. I'd figure out some other way to attach it, maybe rubber bands or something. And it also does fit on Battle Cat, because they use the exact same head sculpt for the Cat of Battle. Now, granted, you don't want this color on him, so it looks kind of weird, but there you go. It does fit on there as well. So it does not fit on Revelations. So, and I have not made any for Revelations, and I probably won't, because I'm really hoping that Mattel makes a Revelation version, because in the cartoon he had this helmet in Revelation. So get on it, Mattel. You're letting us down. All right. Goku keeps getting insane power-ups. He's too powerful nowadays. Yeah, I know. Goku could blow a hole through the planet and destroy everybody in one shot. We saw that with when Frieza came back, that he blasted a hole through the planet after being defeated by Goku, and then that guy had to reverse time. I hope they come out with Panthor Revelation. Eric, I hope they do too. Black Phoenix 77, if you're planning on someday getting a Panthor, you might want to get a helmet now. I don't know the next time I'll make them. This might be my last batch for a while, so even if you don't have a Panthor and you're planning on getting one, you may want to get a helmet so you already have it ready. You can put the helmet next to Skeletor on the ground inside your Snake Mountain when we get it. So you can see this is my riding gear for my cat. Actually, it would be kind of cool to have this hanging on the wall of your Snake Mountain behind the throne. Haven't even thought of that before. All right, anyway, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next video. Let me try to balance him on his tail. I've seen him do that before. Let's see if I can get the weight ratio correctly to do the old tail balance. Oh! I guess you gotta put the tail back further. Yeah, the harness is in the way. Let's try flipping the tail over. There we go. You can do it. Okay. Hang on, Skeletor. It's going to be a wild ride. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Ha! Hooray. Ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. He's begging for food. Oh, I got some M&Ms right here for you, Panthor. Anyway. I will see you guys next video. By then I should have these painted up and on eBay. I don't know what the next video is going to be about. I never do, so we'll see what it is. But feel free to check out my old videos and see what I got. And until next time, good journey. Bye, Lewis. Bye, everybody else.